What's up guys, Nukin here and welcome back to the channel. I have woken up very early, haven't had enough coffee, but I want to make this video before this patch drops. There should be a client restart very soon, either later today or the next day, the latest in a week from now, but it should be happening I think later today. We're going to talk about mod slicing and auto assigning mods and loadouts and all of that good stuff, some of the new features here, and also a little bit of basic theory crafting brainstorming. There will probably be multiple modding videos here. Of course, all of my topics discussed will be in the timestamps below, so be sure to basically filter out what you want to look for. This is going to be a longer video than usual, so hopefully you guys find it helpful and informative. So enjoy, and let's talk about some of the new stuff. So let's dive right into some of these new features, starting off with basic modding. So this modding that we've been doing this entire time is now labeled as advanced modding. And so where you see basic in the top right, if you just tap that, you'll go into the advanced modding page or section. Now here we have Rebel Officer Leia Organa, aka Rolo, which is a character that was sort of introduced for Lightside TV and ironically is now going to be the character of the month of September. So I'll leave you guys to speculate on that. This is not a speculation video. So here we have Rolo. She's a Lightside Rebel attacker. We have some recommendations for the sets. We have a critical damage set and a critical chance set. So it's going to give you a recommendation of decent sets that you can run on her. Now this is the only way to mod her. For example, you could do 6 crit chance mods, or you could do a speed set, for example, but this is going to be a decent way to mod her. And so here we have a bunch of mods that it's found in our inventory, and on top of the mod sets, the sort of basic modding features also going to be searching for decent secondaries that will also be good on the character. So speed and potency, offense, and crit chance will all be very nice secondaries to have on Rebel Leia Officer Organa. So here are just a bunch of mods that the game has found in the inventory, and so we're going to actually go ahead and click assign here, and then suddenly we have just modded Rolo with a bunch of mods. So she's fully modded from naked to basically fully modded. Now you can also go and auto assign mods from characters that are already modded. So for example, if you click the include assign mods tab, you have all your characters here and you can actually pick and choose which characters you would like. So here we have just 3, or you can actually just select all of your characters, and then when you do that you click confirm, and suddenly you're going to have recommendations across your entire roster. So here we have multiple characters, and these mods are also going to be probably typically better because you tend to put your higher best quality mods on the characters that you use. And so we're going to actually be able to pull mods from many different characters and actually make it even better. So that is basically basic modding. And so here we have a mod set that we've completed. So we got Rolo up to 239 speed, and we can actually, now we're in the advanced modding tab, and we can actually assign this to be a loadout. Now before we get into mod loadouts, let's take a look at the filter and sort buttons in the top left here. So this is also brand new. Now we're in the advanced modding feature, and this is like we got SwGoH.gg inside the game, which is awesome. So we have a bunch of different filter selections. We can select mods of any sort of shape. We can select any sort of set, any primary, any secondary. We can also select multiple options. So for example, if we're looking for a critical damage set and a crit chance set, we can do that at once. For the secondaries, if you're looking for a mod with speed and offense and crit chance, like you can find specifically what you want, and it doesn't even have to be in your inventory. It could be on another character as well. Now in the sort feature, we can also then take all of those filters and go one step further to order them in a way that would be easier to find. So if you're having difficulty finding some of your mods, if you have too many of one kind, then you can sort them in a way just like you can in a spreadsheet if you're a spreadsheet wizard. So here we're going to actually go ahead and I'm going to show you how we can actually mod Rollo using some of these features here. So we're going to go ahead and mod Rollo the advanced way. We're going to sort by speed, and this is going to filter out all of the speed mods and rank them in order from highest to lowest. So the very first mod here should be our fastest. Yep, plus 20 speed. That is probably going to be the fastest critical damage mod circle that I have right there, and then it's just going to go down from there. Now if you want to basically go ahead and tap on the symbol of the shape of the mod that you're looking for, it will take away all the different shapes. So right now I'm going to tap on the square, and now all of these squares are going to be only shown, and they're going to also be ranked in terms of that speed sorting feature. So here we have another mod that is 12 speed with some more offense. This isn't necessarily a better mod potentially for her, depending on the game mode. It could be the best, but we're actually not going to change that square. Now this circle is definitely way better. Plus 20 speed is going to be awesome. Let's take a look at the triangle. Now it doesn't really get much better than that, so we're probably not going to change the triangle there, but of course you can actually go ahead and check your own triangles. I don't think I have a better mod than that. The cross could use potentially some improvement. Let's put that offense cross on there with a bunch of godly secondaries, a bunch of offense, speed, and crit chance. So we're going to replace that cross or plus, and so now we've completed the critical damage set. So now we're going to actually go ahead and filter for just critical chance to complete the two-piece set. So now we need to go to the diamond, and we don't have that many diamonds, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Is this better? I would say that diamond is a little bit better, plus 2 speed with about the same amount of potency. That is a good trade to make. I would totally do that. So let's go ahead and actually put that mod right on to her. So, and then we're going to also do a speed arrow for her, which is also going to be crit chance. So let's go ahead and put the primary as speed for the arrow. And of course, speed arrows don't have secondary speed, so we're going to actually uncheck the speed secondary, and here are our critical chance secondaries, our critical chance speed arrows, and it doesn't look like any of these are that superior to what she has on already. So we're just going to go ahead and confirm and look at the change here. So we went from basic modding, this is from basic modding, to sort of advanced filtering modding, and we boosted her offense quite a bit. We boosted her overall speed quite a bit, and so I would say that we made a lot of leaps and strides from the basic modding. So I definitely recommend still doing advanced modding for all of your characters. So now we have a pretty good critical damage and critical chance set. So we're going to actually save this as a loadout. So you can actually go ahead and create a loadout from the character, and then you can name it so you can actually know, kind of have a sort of a quick idea of what this mod set is going to be. So in the top left where it says Rebel Officer Leia O, which is kind of funny, you're going to tap or click the pencil icon, and then you're going to be able to edit the name. So my sort of suggestion here is to name it something that you can actually quickly sort of recognize for yourself. Don't worry what other people are naming it. So for some people you may want to do words, for other people you may want to describe the stats of the actual speed or the actual plus to offense or critical damage. Here I'm just going to go for max crit damage and 2-piece crit chance or something, or plus crit chance. So let's see. I'm not even sure if we can actually use symbols. We may not be able to. Okay, we can't do any pluses. How about an and symbol? No and. Maybe a dot. Sometimes we can do a dot. All right, so it looks like we can't even do symbols. So maybe in the future we'll be able to do that, but not currently. So we're just gonna be really hip and probably use an N, crit in, crit chance. All right, yep. So that's gonna be good, and it's an attacker, sort of typical attacker set. So we're gonna go ahead and save that, and voila, this is the stats on the right. And so here we have a mod loadout, all done right there. And you can actually have a bunch of tabs as well and have multiple layouts per tab. So I recommend basically, calling it something like these are all your attacker loadouts, or you could do it instead of by class of character, you could do this is my Night Sister loadouts, or you could do something like these are all my critical damage sets. So you could maybe have a bunch of tabs for different things, or you could do it by game mode, like this is my Sith Raid loadouts, for example, this is my TW loadouts. So whatever is going to work for you is going to be probably the best. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but these are just some suggestions to kind of get your brain clicking. So, if you want to do it by class, by mod set, by game mode, by faction, whatever is best for you, I definitely recommend going ahead and doing that. You can also create fresh mod loadouts from scratch. So if you already have a character that is modded, like we did with Rolo, we made one based off her foundation. You can also do it from scratch if you want to do it that way as well. So that's mod loadouts. So now that we covered mod loadouts, we're going to go ahead and cover mod slicing. So I'm pretty excited about slicing. Slicing is going to be the new feature, brand new feature of taking up the mods from 5 dots to 6 dots. You can also, or stars, or whatever you want to call them, you can also actually increase the quality of your 5 dot mods as well. So here we have a bunch of mods. We have 4 gold mods, 1 purple mod, and 1 gray or white mod. And you can see that we're going to actually go ahead and slice up this arrow from the lowest quality all the way up to a 6 dot mod. Now I definitely don't recommend probably doing this, so this is just for teaching purposes, but I'm going to show you how it works. So here's a tier E white or gray mod. We're going to go ahead and use these MK1 bonding pins. We've been grinding this salvage on the hard nodes all week, and you can actually collect this in the mod battles, which also should be live when this patch client restart drops. We're going to use this to actually upgrade the secondaries of this arrow. So this arrow has a bunch of ones on the left side of the secondaries in parentheses. That is the number of times one of those secondaries are going to be rolled again and upgraded. So hopefully we can get something like potency when we go from tier E to tier D, from a white to a green mod, and we did. So we went from around 2% potency to 3% potency, and you can see in the parentheses the 1 changed to a 2 to the left of potency. And here we're going to go from tier D to tier C, so from a green mod to a blue mod. You can see a trend here. We're also using MK1 bonding pins again. For every quality tier of color that you go up, you're also going to use the previous salvage. So here's a new salvage, MK1 fusion disc. This will be used for this recipe and also for the blue to purple recipe, and that sort of trend just continues. So we're going to go from tier D to tier C, and we also increase the potency. We're going up to almost 5% potency. We have 3 on the parentheses now, and you can see here we were using the MK1 fusion disc once again. So from tier C to tier B, you also use that. So also the brand new salvage on the right will be where the MK1 fusion disc is as well. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to use MK1 fusion disc again, and this new salvage, power flow control chip, will also be used where the fusion disc salvage is when we go from purple to gold. So that's kind of the trend. So now we're going to go ahead and upgrade this from blue to purple, from tier C to tier B, and another potency increase. So this is quickly becoming a much better mod for Rolo, 6% potency. And as you can see, from tier B to tier A, from the purple to gold, we're also using the same salvage that we used, that power flow control chip, once again. So that is pretty neat. Now this trend stops here. When you go from gold to 6 dot mod, there is a specific salvage that is used for that. So that's the trend of upgrading the quality of 5. Mod color, but 6. Mods is going to break that trend. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade this from tier B to tier A. So we're going to have a gold arrow, and so now we got an increase in tenacity there, so very good. And now we're at 5. Tier A gold, and you can see there is 3 parts to taking this, or salvage, or whatever you want to call them. We have a MK1 amplifier. We also have a MK1, what do you call it, capacitor, and we also have another piece at the bottom where you get it from the guild store, I believe, and that's going to be located for the guild currency, MK2 pulse modulator. So this is basically, the trend is broken. This will be the only way to upgrade those 6. Mods. So you can actually get some of the salvage from the mod battles on 9E, but the MK2 pulse modulator is going to be located in the guild store. So you're going to actually have to use some of your guild currency to get some of this salvage to take those mods up, because you cannot acquire this salvage from the mod battles. Potentially there will be other places to acquire this salvage, but currently it will only be in the guild store. I think potentially we might get also some salvage from the Sith raid, I believe, from the tier 6 and heroic version of the Sith raid. They did mention something about that as well. So you can purchase some of that salvage. And when you go ahead and take the gold mod, we're going to go back to our Rollo here. We took that gray and white mod all the way to gold. Don't recommend doing that, by the way. And we're going to actually take this from tier A gold to tier E 6. And boom, here we go. So we went from a 30 speed arrow to a 32 speed arrow. We went from just a few percent potency all the way up to 8.24% potency. And when you upgrade a mod all the way from gold to 6. Mod, what happens is that everything just gets increased by a little bit across the board. You get a little bit of extra primary and a little bit of extra secondaries. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at upgrading some of the other mods. So we had a purple square on Rollo, and we're going to go ahead and hopefully we crack turn this 15 speed mod into a god mod with plus 20 speed. So we're going to go ahead and slice this mod. Now, no matter what happens, whenever we slice this mod, it should be a pretty decent turnout. If we get extra health, potency, or crit chance, those are all pretty good secondaries for Rollo. It's not a waste. So we sliced it once, we got some health, probably the worst option that we weren't looking for, but now let's take it up to the 6. Level, and you can see basically we're going to have another sort of plus across the board bonus. 15 speed goes up to 16 speed, and everything just goes up just a little bit. So just little minor boosts. You're not going to have a huge like speed boost from taking it from 5. To 6. You are going to get a huge primary boost though. You can see that went all the way up to 8.5% offense, which is remarkable. That's going to increase her damage quite a bit. So far we got her damage almost to 3,000 physical damage, so she's going to be hitting pretty hard, especially since she has max crit damage. So let's slice up a few other mods. So here is a gold mod, and let's take that gold mod to 6. Here and continue on the trend. So boom, that went up to 20% defense primary, which is nice. And then everything across the board, all the secondaries kind of got increased from there. Here is a health circle. Now health primary's got a huge boost, and that is going to increase the health from 31.5k basically. Let's see how much of a boost we get from taking this primary circle to 6. So that's going to go from 5% all the way up to I think around 15 or 20%. But before we do that, let's actually showcase the armor increase. So we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at that, because we forgot to look at that before we did the health. So before we forget, let's go ahead and do that. So we're looking for a critical chance mod for Rollo. So here's a good one, 14 speed. I think that was actually better than the one that we had before. I actually thought we put that on. We can't slice mods unless they're level 15, so we're going to upgrade that to level 15, and then we're actually going to take this up. So let's look at the armor. So Rollo's armor is going to be around, I think, 34.11%, so around 34% armor. So let's see what happens when we take this 11.75% defense diamond up to 6 dots. So now we basically doubled the defense percentage on this mod, so we should see a 3 to 5% boost in the armor. And yep, 35% armor. And so this is actually going to be even a larger increase if you have a tank or a very high armored character in the game. So even for Rollo, we got around a 3 to 5% armor damage mitigation boost, which is nice. So that's another increase in the primary. Now let's take a look at that health circle. So before we had that 31.5k health with this 5.88% 5-dot mod. Now when we take it up to 6-dot mod, we can actually see a huge increase in health, all the way up to 16% health there. And so that is going to be awesome. And we're going to actually look at the health increase now. And now we went from all the way up to 34k. So that is basically like you just put half of a health pack on Rollo by just upgrading the quality of the mod, which is awesome. And now we're going to just upgrade 2 more mods. Let's do the triangle. We're going to increase the primary for the critical damage primary stat from 36% all the way up to 42%. So she is going to hit that much harder when she crits. So that's going to be awesome for attackers. And then let's go from 5.88% offense. Here we have 3052 damage right now. Upgrade the plus or cross here, and we're going to go from 5.88% offense to 8.5% offense. So very, very awesome. And we're actually going to go all the way up to a physical damage of 3,122. So some dramatic increases in offense from upgrading these squares and the crosses, if the cross has an offense primary, of course. So very nice. So now that we went through all of the boring stuff, we went through mod loadouts and slicing and all those new features, let's take a look at some basic sort of preliminary theory crafting ideas. Let's begin the theory crafting process. So I have a bunch of ideas. I'm going to be testing a lot of this stuff, probably be making another video or two at least on some strategy and farming game plans. But here we have basically a snowtrooper that I just took off all of his mods. We're going to look at and just focus on the square. We're going to focus on upgrading secondaries. So potentially I have some ideas, and here's a beginning idea. Purple mods actually might be better than some of your gold mods potentially. So here we have a purple square speed mod specifically with speed secondary of 13. We're gonna hope that when we slice this, we go from 13 up to some higher number. Okay, we got 17 speed, so that was lucky. So we just increase from purple to gold, and we have now a gold mod with plus 17 secondary speed. Very good. Now let's do a more extreme example. Let's focus on the squares. So let's actually specifically sort for speed and filter out all the gold mods and blue and green and everything. Let's just focus on purple and actually do that. That's going to be tier B, by the way, if you want to filter just for a specific color purple. And we're going to do that. And here is a square on Fox, first order executioner, plus 20 speed secondary on that mod. Very strong speed secondary. And we're going to slice this, and hopefully it lands on speed and makes this into a super god mod. Let's slice it up. And we did get a speed proc, 23 plus 3. Not the highest proc, but it's definitely better than 20. That's for sure. I'll take it. And if you're looking for secondary speed, which is going to still be a very important stat to have in more of the PvP game modes like TW or or arena, going first is very important. You're going to actually want to look for speed. When you go from 5 dot gold to 6 dot, it only went up by +1 from 23 to 24. So that's the difference between, you know, if you're looking for secondary stats, if you're looking for extra offense or crit chance or speed, and you want to actually get a higher number, you may actually want to slice some of your purple mods instead of your gold mods, because we just took a 20 speed purple mod and it went up to 24 speed all the way at the very top at 6 dot mod. Here we have a square on Jedi Training Ray. It's only +21. We're never going to actually have this mod be faster than the purple mod that we had on Fox, even though it started off as gold. So that is the difference between, if you're looking for an extra secondary speed stat, for example, or offense or whatever, if you have a high secondary purple mod, you will potentially, when you slice it, actually have a better, higher quality mod that you already had that was gold. So this isn't the case for all examples. That was more of an extreme example, but that is some of the ideas that I have. And then of course, I have value ideas and a bunch of other stuff. You're definitely going to want to subscribe to my channel. So hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Tap the bell so you make sure that you're not missing any of my videos. You'll get notified when you tap that bell when I release a new video. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want me to cover anything specifically in the next sort of in-depth modding video, let me know down below as well. If you like this video, if you found it helpful and informative, make sure to smash the like button on this video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys all next time. Cheers.